Thank you all. Mary, my wife, Abigail's mother, and I just want to be able to thank everybody coming out tonight. We want to thank certainly all of our family and friends, as well as the Belke extended family and friends, just for making this such a special night. It's been a great day so far, and it's going to be really a great celebration the rest of tonight. We especially want to thank Phil and Karen, really, for all the work they put into the planning and the execution of today. It's just wonderful to see that support for Abigail and for Eric. And another thing I want to thank you for, we want to thank you for, is just how you've accepted Abigail and your family. The love and the acceptance is so evident, and you know, that's what you want for your daughter. You want that in-law family to feel like family. And we want to thank you as well for raising such a fine young man. Eric, I couldn't ask for a better son-in-law. You've done so well in raising him. We thank you. Before I share a little bit more, Abigail, Mary and I just need to say to you, we love you so much. Our firstborn, 25 years ago, those years go by so quickly. We love you. We love you, Eric. As a father who thinks of giving his daughter away someday, I couldn't find a better man. You've done so well. Done so well, and we're so happy for you. And we thank you for the privilege of allowing us to share this day with you. So, as I was preparing this speech, I was trying to think of things. A lot of memories were popping up, obviously. Abigail and I did spend a lot of time together. Some of the simple things like going hiking in the state parks, camping in the backyard in the tent, and having ghost stories and snacks and breakfast in the morning. I think fondly of the time Abigail's freshman year of high school when she was on the golf team. And I tried to support her by going to one of her golf meets. And when I showed up on one of the holes, she said, Dad, get away. Just wait for me in the parking lot. And I thought, oh, okay. For some reason, 14-year-old Abigail didn't want me there by her, some of the way I imagined that. Sorry. Another great time I can recall is when she was a little bit older, so I was okay again. And we took a trip to Denver, got to eat at some great restaurants, took a day hiking at Rocky Mountain National Park, and that was, again, just a special time that we got to spend together. And I was so thankful for that. Now, there's one thing, though, one experience that really showed me the woman that Abigail was becoming. And you probably can't imagine what this is, right? Probably can't. It's going to sound a little weird when I say it, but the one experience that really shares in my mind, or tells me in my mind, who Abigail was going to become was the day that we dropped her off at Camp Daniel the first year. So for those of you who don't know, Camp Daniel is a Christian week-long camp in northern Wisconsin for people with special needs. And so Abigail had just turned 13. And she thought it'd be a great opportunity to volunteer, to share, and assist one of the counselors up there taking care of a camper that week. The only thing was, when we dropped her off, Abigail realized that she was the counselor. And she had an adult that had 24-hour needs for that whole week. Again, she just turned 13. And so I think you were freaking out a little bit when you found that out. 13 years old, and this person had some very significant needs to be taken care of. But when I look at that, I look at your resolve, confidence, compassion that you had, and I knew that camper was going to be in good hands because of who you were and who you were becoming. And it turned out well. Abigail did so well that week, and I was so happy to see that. So Abigail, your mother and I are so proud of the woman you've become. Extremely intelligent, hardworking, great head on your shoulders. You know how to fix things, repair things. You asked for a cordless drill a couple of Christmases ago. Yeah, she did, and she uses it. She's not easily swayed from her opinion when she feels she's right. Are you getting that, Eric? Or did you that a little bit? Yeah, maybe. She's loving and compassionate, but shows whenever she's with her brothers, Ben and Jonah. But what Mary and I are most proud of is Abigail's faith. I think that any Christian parent, the most important thing for them as they're raising a child is that one day they'll have faith in God through Christ. Mary and I prayed for that through her childhood and through her young adulthood. We prayed for that for her future spouse. Of course, faith, with Abigail being a little strong-willed, was not something she was just going to accept because that's what we taught her or what we had. She had to really see it and own it for herself. And we're so, so thankful and happy that is something she did. We're so happy, Abigail. And Eric, you are that man that we prayed for all those years. You didn't know it at the time, and we didn't know it at the time. And that's so amazing. God is so good. You're a man of great integrity, intelligence, and faith. I can't think of a better man to be my son-in-law, and I am so honored that you were Abigail's husband. It's easy to see why Abigail's face lights up every time she would talk about you. It would. She was so excited to have you as her man. I think it's sweet. You think it's funny, I think it's sweet. Your love and caring for her is so evident to anybody who's been around you any period of time. It's so wonderful to see. And we're looking forward to seeing what God has in store for you as you start your life together and as family and other things come up. It's going to be amazing to be able to watch that. And lastly, as I try to come up with something wonderful and witty as advice, when we were at the rehearsal last night, I'm not blaming the pastor, but he stole a little bit of my thunder. That's okay. It was great. But I wanted to use a piece of scripture that's meant a lot to Mary and I from Ecclesiastes 4:9 through 12. It was what the pastor preached to us and to the congregation at our wedding. It's what we had engraved in our wedding bands that meant that much to us. And I'm going to read that scripture. 2 are better than 1, because they have good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, and has not another to lift him up. Again, if 2 lie together, they keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? And though a man might prevail against one who is alone, 2 will withstand him. A threefold cord is not quickly broken. And it's that last phrase, a threefold cord, that's always meant a lot to me. It meant that the strongest bond was one where husband and wife were together, and they were bound with the most important strand of all, and that is God. So my words of wisdom to the 2 of you for tonight and for the years to come is to always make sure that the Lord is at the very center of your marriage, so that as the inevitable trials of life try knocking you down, you will stand firmly together. And with this, if we can lift our glasses to toast to Abigail and Eric.